Okay guys, today we're going to do a quick video on how to sync up a few beats. Got to add a few questions. People want to know how to kind of time things up while they're working and bring it into your project. So first thing you want to do is ignore that. There we go. First thing you want to do is basically load in a break. Now I've got this old hip hop kid and play break that I've just loaded in. As you can see, the BPM is 175, but the BPM of this is probably like 110 or something like that. So basically how you do it is you go into your sample editor and trim off any excess sample at the front, any excess gap at the front of the sample, and basically go to there, cut that, clean it all up, there we go, that's nice and tight there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the loop, put that forward and press play, and then what we're going to do is we're going to listen to it and we're going to try and trim it as close as possible to like a 1 bar. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a gap there at the end, so we're just going to trim that up. See how that sounds if we take that off there. Okay, that's a little bit quick, so I'm just going to take a little bit back, probably zoom in, see what's going on there. So clean that off and then play again. Okay, so once you've done that now, then you go into turn on the slices. Yeah. So if you click here where it says slices, you can then see that slice number 1 starts here, and then you've got all these other slices here. Now on your keyboard you should be able to now switch off your loop, and then each one, at the moment each one of these slices has got a loop in it, so we're going to have to take that off. So let's go back to here, no loop. Now you didn't originally have to put the loop on, it just helps you to kind of tighten up the sample better. Okay, get rid of that, no loop, no loop, no loop, no loop. And in Renoise there are quite a few different ways of syncing up breakbeats. This is one of them. There's another one using this beat sync here, which I'll show you in a minute. No loop, no loop, and do that all the way to the end. It's just to stop all the bits from repeating the way they are at the moment. Here we go, done deal, lovely jubbly. Okay, so now let's go through it. Why has that still got a loop on it? I don't want that there. Okay, so go into here now, and all we want to do is have a slice per sound or per transient. These little peak things there are called transients. It's like where the sound pops up. So you just want to make 1 cut per transient. And also listen out for samples that play a little bit too much of themselves and overlap onto the next sample, which causes a pop, which can sound like that. Okay, I can see a little tiny blip here. Potentially could probably be the start of the next sample, so we'll go with that. And even though that sounds like 1 sample, I would say that this is 2 transients here, so we'd have to slice that as well in order to keep the kind of swing of the beat intact. And there seems to be another one here, but I'm going to go with what the slice and the automatic cut has picked up. Okay, so if you listen there, you can hear a little, see that thing there, that's like, needs to be brought forward. It's a part of the snare. Oh, looks like a little clip there as well. Ooh. Yeah, hear that? I'm going to bring this all the way there. And this will give you a nice sort of tidy cut. And that's it. So I think we're cut now. Alright, so that's it. So that's all chopped up. Now the next stage now is to get all these slices to play in our MIDI track. Now you could just like sit here trying to make a jigsaw puzzle and putting them in, which is quite tricky to do, you know. And if you were programming a break, I guess you would do it this way, you know, from here. So that's one way you could do it, which is pretty cool. So that's a nice little beat in itself there. Right, so that's one way to do it. The next way to do it is to go back to the sample editor here, and then go to here, and there's a few options. So you right click the mouse button, and then you go to where it says slices. Now you want to go to the render slice options and then change your lines per beat to about 8, quantize to none, use sample column ticked. Although guys, use that at your risk, because I really don't know what that means, but it's on at the moment, and what I'm about to do actually works. And this is a very tricky bit of kit to use. If you don't know what you're doing, you can make a mess, and I have done many times recently, so just to let you know. Now, once you've done that, you then go to render slices to phrase. And what this is going to do is it's going to cut the, so not cut the samples up, it's going to re-trigger all the samples into another little phrase editor. Now the phrase editor is like a separate tracker that's like offline, if you like, to the one that we use over here. So what you're going to do, what it does, the idea behind that is, which you access from here, is that you get your break cut up. So it's kind of like as if you was using Recycle, which I've got another video on, and it kind of makes it a MIDI file. So whenever you trigger this key in your loop, like C for example, it will play the whole sample triggered the way it shows in the pattern editor, which will give you the break speeded up, which is really cool. So and you can see it's moving in time to the metronome. Now the phrase editor also allows you to do some other bits and pieces. So I'll be able to show you how to use this in another video, but for now we're just going to stick to syncing the beat. So now that beat's in Renoise, and we've got a hit every 16, so we change that to 16, and then we go bosh, 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 bosh. And there we have it, a beat all totally synced up, pretty much effortlessly. And the same rules apply for pretty much all the samples. Now, another way to do this as well, a quicker way, I mean, this is really quite tight. And while I play that, if you look at the phrase editor, you can see that it's actually playing the phrase every time that note is triggered. And if on these samples, they're kind of like hybrids. Like if you click here, you'll see the actual phrase for that sample, which you just click on and it will show you it. Yeah. So yeah, that's that pretty much, guys. You can save that as well. You can save your instrument, and you could also save your phrase, I believe, as well. Which I think you can do from phrase. Oh, it's in here somewhere. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you can save it somewhere. I'll let you guys suss that one out, and probably comment down below. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the idea of syncing that way. Now, the next way to sync is to get your beat, your waveform, and let's say we load back the Kid and Play break again. So we go to here, bring it in, go back to the wave editor, same again. So going around in circles here, cutting the beat off at the front, not the beat, sorry, the excess space. Where is it gone? Get rid of that, we don't want that there. And then all you do is switch on this sync button here, this beat sync. And that's kind of old speed up jungle style. Now, one thing I've got to say on here is, if you want it to go slower, faster, at this point, you'd have to move this. And it kind of syncs it up to the amount of beats in your song, or in your pattern. And what you've got to do really from here is basically play this in. And then, this is a quick fix, guys, but it does work. Probably 16, let's have a look. Okay, so remember we spliced that little gap off. So let's have a look. Switch our loop on. Yeah, get rid of it there. And if you notice, as I'm taking a little bit off, it's getting slower and slower because it's getting sort of tighter and tighter. I'm going to try taking it off all the way to the end here. It might be a bit too much, but let's just see what happens if I get it. Not to the top one, but to the nearest blib. There you go. Now, this isn't the tightest way to do it, but it does work. So, say for example, if you're doing something like this. Yeah, man. Good to go. And let's try this. Whoa! There you have it, guys. Little quick introduction into syncing your beats. I hope you like that one. Don't forget, if you like all the samples you heard today, you can find them on Samploids junglist90five.co.uk. Don't forget to join my mailing list for 100 samples. Check out jdclothing.co.uk for Junglist95 hoodies. Please subscribe, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Take care, God bless. See you on the next video. Peace.